What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of Captain's Corner. Here with my buddy
Connor.
And yeah, let's get right to it. A nice snowy day here in Northeast Pennsylvania. Um, so it kind of gets tough to think about baseball when you see 6 inches of snow on the ground, but that's exactly what we're about to do.
Hey, winter meetings coming up. I think this is the perfect time to think about
True.
baseball.
Free agency stuff going on. You're right. So let's start off with let's talk about Devin Williams just to warm up a little bit. What are your thoughts on him going to the Mets, Connor?
He did have a lot better of a second half. So I mean, good for the Mets. I wouldn't have wanted the Yankees. Yankees have limited money, so I wouldn't have wanted them to spend 17 mil a year on a reliever who, for them, had the yips at times.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, hey, good for the Mets. I'm not upset. You know.
Definitely. Yeah, I feel like it's a good pickup for them. He never really gave me the true vibes of wanting to be a Yankee, but I feel like the Mets could be a good spot for him because it's still like a big market team. They're on the up and coming. I feel like they have a lot of talent over there. I feel like he could have a good season, and it's gonna hurt to see him. If he can go back to that like Brewers stud he was, that's gonna kind of be a little painful, but he did finish well for us. You're right.
Yeah, I just don't think that we really had the money, or we do, but we should spend it in other places, which we'll get to. But
100%, especially with Bednar being pretty much our certified closer. I feel like, yeah, I mean, he could be another good reliever, but I feel like there was no need for him.
yeah,
Yeah, so we got Devin Williams out. Uh, and then just another thing I wanted to ask you about. I don't know if you saw Sonny Gray's comments about his time with the Yankees.
saying he never wanted to be there, and he's glad he's in a place he can hate the Yankees now.
Yeah, very interesting.
Very interesting. I almost just think he's playing to like the media. Um, though I mean, I guess it never seemed like he like really loved being in New York. But he just
Yeah,
doesn't seem like the guy to say shit like that. To be honest.
yeah, actually, I feel like that's the takeaways. I was very surprised to even hear him say it. And then I think
Yeah.
ultimately it's like if you don't perform well as a Yankee, it's probably pretty easy to hate the Yankees and their fans. But
Yeah, hey, if he played better, I mean,
he might
things
have
would have
he
played
might
out
be wrong,
differently,
but
obviously. But
yeah. Um all right, yeah. So talk to me about kind of what you think about the what the lineup could look like in 2026 for the New York Yankees and the
um,
rotation.
I'm not gonna lie, this is the most nervous I've been for our offense. The pitching, there's a lot to like.
Mhm.
Our pitching should be pretty nasty. Maybe I'll start there. I'll start with the good. Um, so we have Cole, Fried, Rodon, Schlittler, Schmidt, Heel, and Warren as our starters. Most likely in that order. Maybe put Schlittler above Rodon. Um,
Yeah.
Now that being said, Cole, Rodon, and Schmidt are all starting on the IL.
Mhm.
So this is where it gets a little interesting. So to start the season, we're going to have Fried, Schlittler, Heel, Warren, and Yarborough, which isn't great. I mean, Fried and Schlittler, pretty confident in. Heel and Warren have both actually been pretty good for us too. So is Yarborough. So I actually don't hate it just to get us over until injuries. I think
Mhm.
Cole's back in May. Schmidt, I think, is just early 2026. I don't know when Rodon is coming back, but I don't hate the pitching. And honestly, I think we should trade some of those depth pieces. But um,
Mhm.
the hitting, okay, so this is kind of our projected lineup right now. We got Grisham in center leading off, Judge at the 2 and right, Jazz at 3 at second, Stan 4 DH, Ben Rice first base hitting fifth, Dominguez hitting sixth in left, or Spencer Jones, one of the two, whoever you like. The other one will probably get traded. Wells at catcher hitting seventh, Volpe at short hitting eighth, and then um, Ryan at third, you at third, hitting ninth. And that's kind of an
Yeah.
ass line, except for you at third. That kind of saves
Yeah.
us a little bit, lengthens the
Yeah.
lineup
I'll
out.
handle. I'll handle it. Um, dude. Yeah. Honestly, like it's scary that mostly because I know a lot of people talk about like our offense was like number one basically last year, like in a lot of like the important stats. I just get so nervous because so much of that is because of one player, you know?
Yeah, yeah. And if you want us to be the number one offense again, first off, right now we don't have Belly back, and then you're expecting Grisham to repeat the season that
Mm-hmm.
he had,
True.
which is a complete outlier. If you look at his
Mm-hmm.
baseball reference page, not that he hasn't been great, but he hasn't been
You lose
to the level he
Goldschmidt.
was last year. We lost Goldschmidt, and he was a
You lose
lefty match.
Goldschmidt. You have a really good.
Um, yeah, you expect. I mean, Sand had a great second half. Who knows how he'll be? That was kind of his first season back, and then in the playoffs he wasn't great. So who knows? Um,
Mm-hmm.
we Dominguez is not guaranteed anything. Ben Rice had a great start to his career. I believe in him a lot, but who knows? He's still only
Yeah.
going to be in his second year. Wells was terrible. Volpe was terrible. McMahon was. I mean, he's a glove first, third baseman. So there's just a lot of question marks and a lot of hoping that
Mm-hmm.
people repeat um, seasons that they've never had before. So
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, honestly, thinking about it, like Trent Grisham with a 3.5 WAR, 811 OPS. Like unfortunately, I loved Grisham's season, and I was cheering for him like the hardest maybe out of anyone. But I think I'm the hardest hater right now in terms of I think there's zero chance he even comes close to repeating that. And also, even if he does, and I know it's a small sample size. I personally think that like some sample sizes, like just from what you see, you can kind of take away. This postseason, like that to me was who Trent Grisham was. Like previous to this season, like he really didn't have too many great offensive seasons. He was just a stud in the outfield, plays smoothly, like doesn't mess up too often. And when he does mess up, it's because he's playing too smoothly. It's like very odd. But I don't think he even comes close to mimicking this. Like that 811 OPS, I think it could easily be a 670 next season. The average 235, I feel like that could probably be similar. Just the amount of home runs he hit, how many? 34. I just think there's zero shot. And I just wasn't expecting him to come back at all, to be honest. But
I don't know why we offered him the qualifying offer.
it's
I
funny
really
because
don't.
when I saw the news of that and I complained about it, everyone was like, "Oh, like he's just going to deny it and like go look for more money elsewhere. Like he's obviously not going to accept it." And it's like, well,
He took
he,
it.
he took it. Um, he'd be a great fourth outfielder in my opinion. Like if he's your fourth guy, or like if you have a little bit of a platoon situation, he's great for that. But to be your everyday guy, I just don't think that's a recipe for success. Personally, I don't think it's
And
going to
even if he say we do re-sign Bellinger, we trade for another outfielder or something, Dominguez, Spencer Jones comes on, and he is our fourth outfielder, still getting a ton of playing time. 20 million
Yeah,
for a
it's
fourth
too much.
outfielder is a lot of money.
And that would be banking on like a Spencer Jones or Dominguez to also be like serviceable or like playing well, and that's a lot to ask because we haven't even seen them play. I mean,
Yeah.
but,
Yeah, I just
yeah.
I just don't love the makeup of our team right now. We're very lefty heavy. There's just a lot of question marks. It's just not offensively. I think
Mhm.
pitching, this is probably the most confident I've been in a starting rotation in a long time.
Absolutely. When we're fully healthy, I think that this is going to be our best rotation in a long time. And even the bullpen, like I think shedding off Ian Hamilton, Luke Weaver's gone, right?
Yeah, Loizaga gone. Devin Williams gone.
Yeah, like I think having Bednar, um, Wow, that's kind of crazy. Who even do we have in the bullpen? I'm gassing it up, and I can't even think of the pitchers in it.
Duvall, but he's kind of a wild card.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully with a full off season with the Yankees and like kind of maybe he can settle in. I could see him being great because the stuff is there. Who else do
Yeah.
we have? I mean, Yarbrough will eventually be in the bullpen.
Yeah, we got Tim Hill. I can
Tim
pull it
Hill,
up.
he's the GOAT.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
we
mean, I
signed him back for $2
like our pitching staff once we're all healthy. I mean, in the beginning, it's going to be rocky as ever.
So our bullpen right now is Bednar, Duvall, Tim Hill, Fernando Cruz, Brent Hedrick, and Ryan Yarborough.
Okay, Fernando Cruz is a stud. Yeah, I mean, I expect us to make some moves at some point or maybe bring some people up, but I don't hate that at all.
I don't, and I do feel like we're normally good at finding bullpen arms, kind of like under the radar arms, or like developing bullpen arms. Last year was funny because on paper we should have had like a great bullpen,
Yeah.
but Devin Williams was really bad for us at the beginning of the season. Duvall had command issues, but we didn't have him to really, take him under the Yankee wing. So I don't know. It was interesting last year. But you see a team like the Dodgers win the World Series when they put so much money into their bullpen, and their bullpen was terrible for the most part, and it was just like starters pitching like 8 innings at a clip. I don't know. That's like the least of my worries, to be honest, for the Yankees.
I agree with that. And I mean, but the funny thing with the Dodgers is that like they did put a ton of money into their bullpen, but they also put a ton of money in everywhere else. So it's like
That's very
God
true.
God forbid the offense wasn't clicking. They had the best pitching staff. God forbid the pitching staff wasn't doing well. Like you just said, their bullpen, they dumped a ton of money into it. The offense would have picked them up. That's just like, yeah, I still am like coping that they won the World Series. But honestly, back to what you said about like on paper, I still think people don't really realize that after the deadline, like I really thought that was a Cashman masterclass. Like picking up
Yeah.
Bednar, having him, Williams, and Luke Weaver. With the way that Luke Weaver was playing, Devin Williams was kind of like he could show some spurts. Bednar was a stud closer, and then we get Doval who like throws 100 something. I don't know. I thought he had a great deadline. I thought the bullpen like should have been just like nails, and then obviously like literally that first game, I think they blew like a 7-run lead, which was unbelievable. But
And it was every player that he picked up
it
blew
was
the
like
game.
Jake Bird came in 2-run shot. Okay, let's try Doval solo homer. Okay, Bednar grand slam. It was literally unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah. But
Um,
you know what? I think this year our bullpen will be better.
mm,
Yeah. Or at least I just don't think that it's that big of an issue. We're gonna sign an arm or bring people up. We'll find
mm.
someone. I don't think we're gonna sign like a big name relief arm for like a lot of money. I just don't see that. But I think we've proven in the past few years that we're good at kind of navigating the bullpen. So
Absolutely, and I think that also when you bring back, I think when Rodon and Garrett Cole are healthy, I think that can push. If we don't trade them, either Will Warren or Luis Heel into the bullpen, and that could be nice. So,
yeah, I mean, I think Yarborough is going to be our kind of spot starter in the bullpen or
yeah,
long relief when people start coming back. So I do think we're going to trade one of Heel or Warren. I mean, or both, depending on if we sign people, and then one of Dominguez and Jones.
which that could be huge. I mean, to package a Luis Heel and a Spencer Jones, I feel like that can be a great return. It's just a matter of are they going to do it? Because it's like I feel like we've been talking about Spencer Jones and Dominguez and for years, and it's like Spencer Jones is the saddest thing because he's going to be 25. It's like an Aaron Judge situation where if he comes into the league, it's like awesome if he performs, but it's like I don't know. You would have either wanted to trade him at his peak or use him for all these years. So I don't know.
Yeah,
Not that
I really think we just need to honestly pick one and go with it.
Mhm,
You know what I mean? Like at this point.
absolutely.
Um, but I pulled up a list of free agents and then different trade rumors. And I want to get your thoughts on who we should kind of focus on. What moves
Sounds
you
good.
think we should make? Um, so I'll start with trade options because I think that's
Mhm,
more.
agreed.
Um, I've seen things about Ketel Marte, and the Diamondbacks have just come out and said that they want pitching prospects for him. Um, this was just Michael K, but Fernando Tatis, and if the Padres
That's
would be willing off of him.
mhm.
Brandon Donovan, the Cardinals seem willing to trade. Um, there's some pitchers, but I don't know if we're going to trade for a pitcher. Um, but there's some interesting trade candidates. Is there anyone that you would want us to kind of put our chips in and go get?
I mean, I personally think that if he is available and realistically anything you can give to get a Tatis Jr., I think I would give up pretty much 80% of the roster to get Tatis Jr. and Aaron Judge in the same lineup. I've seen people skeptical of like his playoff performance, but I mean, again, you get the talent. It's kind of like I think of it as like the first like 2 rounds of a fantasy football draft. Like you really don't care about the position or the bye week. Like you're just trying to get the guy that's like gonna produce the most points. Tatis Jr. is one of those guys. He's just so talented that if you can get him on your team, like do whatever you have to. So I mean, if that's an option, I think that would be number one because him and
Yeah.
Judge in the same lineup would be unbelievable. And like a guy like Jazz, like you would just have so much power and speed. It'd be incredible. Um,
I totally agree. If we did get him though, where do you think we would play him?
I feel like can he
Right now,
play?
he's a great right fielder, but we have Judge.
I was gonna say, can he play left field? Do you think?
I think he's athletic enough.
Yeah, and a lot of people hate this, but I don't hate having Judge back in center. I prefer him in right, but I think if Tatis needed to be in right, I feel like I don't hate Judge being in center field.
Yeah, for Judge's health, I would prefer to keep him in right. Honestly, I
Yeah,
would love for him to be a first baseman.
facts.
Just gonna put that out there, but I don't think that's gonna happen anytime
No,
soon.
unfortunately.
Um, even if he was our DH, but we have Stanton. But I think he'll stay in right. I think that Tatis could play left if we got him. Um, the thing that would be interesting then would we go after Belly? Could we do
Yeah,
both?
I think if we were to get Tatis somehow, I think Belly would be out of the question because I feel like we would have to give up so much to get Tatis Jr.
Yeah, and just even from a fielding perspective, we have Judge in right, Grisham in center, Tatis left. Where does
Mhm.
Belly
Yeah,
go?
where would Belly even
Unless
fit?
you
Now,
move,
Belly could play first though.
he could, and then what? Ben Rice would catch.
Mhm. Austin
I don't
Wells
hate.
gets the boot.
Oh, see, yeah, hey, um, I don't hate that. Could Tatis play in the infield again?
That could be interesting.
I mean, I know the errors and everything at shortstop. He was like an error machine, but could we maybe put him
Maybe
back
maybe some
short
maybe some
over
second base for Tatis.
and then move Jazz? Maybe. I think would Tatis be great at third?
Yeah, I feel like he could be
I mean, he has the arm. He has a crazy arm. He's super athletic,
very
kind of like
athletic.
a Jazz type, you know, in that sense. But I think Jazz is probably better at playing infield. Um,
True.
but if we got Tatis and put him at third,
That could be sick.
and we got Belly, I think that would be like a dream, dude.
That would be a dream. That's almost like it for what we do. I feel like it's impossible, but it would be so nice.
Oh God, I would love that.
I mean, even it's so interesting too the challenges that Volpe raises as well as Jazz, I guess. But like even thinking about Ketel Marte, like he comes in, he plays second, and then you have Jazz and Volpe. Like, does Jazz just go to third? Like, McMahon now really is useless. Like, I don't know how that all works out.
I do think we should trade McMahon because
I think so
he's set
too.
to earn, I believe it's 19 million next year.
Yeah, that's just too much for a guy who can't hit the ball.
Yeah, I mean, what are we doing? And then, I mean, same thing with Grisham. Honestly, can we trade him? I would fucking trade Grisham. I would have never offered him that contract in the first place, but um, yeah, I don't know. I do think McMahon is going to get traded for cap, just for cap purposes.
I think
Um,
that's a very fine move and kind of necessary for us, to be honest.
yeah. So I mean, could Jazz go back to third? I mean, he didn't look terrible there. If we did
Yeah,
get Cassell, um, so far I keep the reason why I'm looking to the right is because on another screen I have a lineup that I made,
let me hear
um,
it.
and like different people. So in this lineup, we re-signed Bellinger, and we signed Murakami, the Japan third baseman, right-handed contact bat. He can play third, left, and is it second too? He plays a few different positions. Um, so he would have some versatility that he could provide us. And then we would trade for Marte. That was what I thought. Because we have the pitching prospects to trade for Marte, and honestly, I don't want Wells. In this, we're giving up Wells somehow. I don't know.
Yeah,
But I think Grisham leading off at center, unfortunately, and then Judge two hit in right, Belly three, Stanton four, Marte five, Jazz six at short, Ben Rice, Murakami, Austin Wells.
I mean that would be beautiful.
I mean, it's better. It's a lot better than what we have right now. Um,
It
I
would
mean,
also just be nice to not let the Dodgers get another like international signing. Like it just feels like every international player just goes right to them.
and some of the quotes about like wanting to beat the Dodgers.
Yeah, I know, but even though you said that was kind of taken out of context a bit.
Well, I think right before that, he literally said like it would be an honor to play with Shohei, but beating the Dodgers would be
Okay,
like the ultimate whatever.
I guess it's kind of a given that they would like to play with Otani, but I feel like there's got to be that edge of like I want to be the one to beat Otani. There has to be some of that.
Yeah, I mean, hey, he didn't have to say the second part of that quote.
Very true. Very true. Yeah, and if he really really wanted to play with the Dodgers, he wouldn't have said that second part. Like obviously, so
Yeah, and that is the last piece. I would sign him. Sign
Mhm.
Murakami, sign Bellinger, trade for Ketel Marte or Tatis, like
I
one or the
really
other.
hope I really hope we sign Amai because I'm still heartbroken over not getting Yamamoto, and I just feel like this guy's really good. I don't know, man. It's so crazy because like there's so many people and like fans that like talk about how we're just not the same franchise. Like no one like I don't know. There's like a lot, and it's sort of true. Like we don't get Soto. Like there's like these big names that we get, but there's also like the biggest names that it feels like we keep missing out on, and
Yeah,
I feel like that has to turn around at some point. But um, yeah, no, I like that lineup a lot. I mean, it'd be beautiful. It's just crazy thinking that like what's actually probably going to end up happening is like so far away from that. Unfortunately, like I feel like we're going to see McMahon at third. We're going to see Grisham starting in center. We're going to see like Wells catching Ben Rice at first. Like I don't know. Not that all of
Volpe.
them are bad, but
I really think the only move we're going to make is try and re-sign Belly,
that's what
and
I think.
I think we will sign him on.
That would
Um,
be great. Honestly,
and
that'd be
I think those are going to be like our only two moves, and maybe like a low level bullpen arm and like a veteran starter to get us over while people are injured. And I think
yeah,
that's it. To be honest,
which is just crazy.
we have the trade pieces. Like just go all in for once.
I know, dude. Like, I don't know what it is. Like the prospect hugging is unbelievable, and they just wither away. Like, or we make a bad move. Like Caleb Durbin has a great season. He could have been such a nice utility infielder for us, but instead we get Devin Williams, who's now not even on the team anymore. It's like
Yeah,
I guess that was us using a prospect, and that can also demonstrate like why you wouldn't want it. But there's also just moves where you just I don't know. We didn't go all in. We just got Devin Williams and Bellinger, which should have been good moves. But
yeah, yeah. I don't know. I honestly would. Could you imagine we trade for Marte and Tatis?
okay,
That
well
would never happen.
now we're the Dodgers.
If we trade for both of them and sign Belly and Amai, game over, baby.
That'd be insane.
But
Anyway, I'm gonna mute myself real quick. I have to take a call, but I want you to talk to the audience and just give them. What do you want to talk to the audience about? Just
you
you ever
tell
seen
me.
you ever seen a Theo Vaughn podcast where he kind of just talks out loud?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I want you to give them some of that. Just give them anything. Whatever's on your mind about the Yankees. Just kind of spill it out.
All right, so we're gonna talk about trade packages. Because I brought up Marte. I see you nodding. Brought up Marte and Tatis, but what would packages for them actually look like? And what would we have to give up? Marte, they brought up pitching prospects, and I'm sure they would want an infielder, an MLB level infielder to take his place. So could a package for Marte look like Ryan McMahon, Luis Heel, Will Warren, something like that? And then maybe there's always like no name prospects that you throw in there, maybe. Um, Now Tatis, that's definitely where the Spencer Jones or Dominguez would go. Um, I don't think we would need to give up one of them for Marte. I really think that our big prospect in that trade would be like Heel. Um, I mean, maybe they would want both. I wouldn't necessarily give up both. The good thing about Marte is that he's only going to be, I believe, 17 mil next year, and he has a quite a few years left on his contract. So he would really be our guy for like a while if we got him and for a good price for an MVP level player. Look at his numbers; he's insane. Um, Switch hitter, he got to second and moved Jazz to third. I would be totally fine with that. I would love that. Marte's good at fielding too. Our infield was Ben Rice, Marte, Volpe, Jazz, Wells. I would not hate that in the slightest. Um, and then Tatis, I don't even know what a package for him would look like. He still has quite a few years left. I think he signed through age 36. Um, but his the way that his contract is structured, the money goes up. I believe each year, or maybe it's just once he hits 31. But there's a jump where his contract goes up to 36 mil a year, and that's going to be a lot for an aging Tatis. Um, does that maybe help you with trade not to give up quite as much? Maybe, or maybe they just eat a little bit of the salary. Who knows? But it's still Tatis. You're going to have to give up like a boatload of prospects, and that's if they're even going to move them. Would I give up a Spencer Jones and whatever other prospects they wanted for Tatis? I 100% would. I mean, it's Fernando Tatis. What are we talking about? Um, but I don't. I think that one's more unrealistic. I really like Marte. Um, just because if Jazz slides over to third, he was looking good at third. I just like that infield. Um, and he's going to be cheaper in the long run. So I really like Marte. That's where I would give up Heel, um, McMahon if they ask for Warren too, or maybe it's Heel, McMahon, like Hess. some of the prospects kind of in that realm. I would totally do that. Um, yeah, and then do you even need Murakami if Jazz goes to third base and we have Wells still or Wells Volpe at short because I don't think we're gonna give up on Wells because for some reason we love him. So that lineup, get out of here, Ryan. So that lineup, just trading for Marte, re-signing Belly, um, would be Grisham, Judge, Belly, Sand, Marte, Jazz, Rice, Volpe, Wells. I feel a lot better about that lineup than what we currently are going with.
That sounds doable.
I think trade for Marte, sign Bellinger, sign Amai, maybe a veteran pitcher to get us over, and I think that's our off season. I just don't know if he pulled the trigger, but I want us to.
How do you think, and I haven't looked too far into it, but how do you think the lockout affects the moves that teams are making?
I don't know. I think our players going to want more long-term deals.
That's what I
Or
would
would they?
expect. And like, would you expect them to be going all in like this year because of just the unknown? I don't know. And like, I still have to look into like, what is the lockout? I still don't really understand it.
Yeah, I know it's right a dispute between owners and players, and something with salary, obviously. But um, is this one going to be about like setting like a salary, like a hard salary cap? Is that what it's
Gotcha.
about?
Yeah, it
Um,
says that the owners want a salary the owners want a salary cap, but the players do not.
yeah, which makes sense from the player's perspective.
Yeah, you want to
Um,
make as much money as you can. But I mean, for the league itself, I feel like a salary cap kind of makes sense.
I honestly would rather have a hard salary floor.
Mhm.
Make teams spend money. I mean, look at the A's. I know they didn't win anything, but they had such a good young core. They went and they actually, put some money in free agency going into the season with Sevy and I believe there were. I'm blanking on the other people that they got, but then they spent a little bit of money. And they were a fun team to watch, dude. If there's a hard floor, maybe they're more incentivized to sign long-term deals with some of their players, like a Brent Rooker and a Lawrence Butler, Jacob Wilson, Nick Kurtz, those types of players.
Mhm.
'Cause I feel like what we see from a lot of the teams that don't spend a lot of money, like the Marlins, is they have all these great young players and then they just trade them away because they don't want to give them the big contract, and then they just
'Cause they
stay
can't.
perpetually bad.
Very true, and it's like an endless cycle.
Yeah, so maybe a hard floor is what would actually fix things, and then everyone would
True.
be happy.
That is true. I actually love that idea. Um, and actually, as I was Googling about it, the first article that pops up, it said former Yankees pitcher Jabba Chamberlain issues strong message on possible MLB lockout. And it says that he tweeted out, "Our players' union is very strong. We will fight. Trust me." So
Mhm.
I wonder, is he on the side of no salary cap then?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
if it's the players' union for sure. I think
That makes
everyone should kind of be on that side.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Who does it really benefit?
I mean, well,
The
would it
owner?
would it disallow the Dodgers to be as good as they are? Do you think it would impact them?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, they play a lot of games with their salary anyway, though.
Yeah,
I mean, they do
they
a lot of give them all the money at the end.
very true, very true.
So would there still be the same games there going on? Like I don't know. Um, I Yeah, I just think that players are never going to be okay with the hard salary cap.
Yeah,
I think it's about competition because these teams make a ton of money.
So much money.
I think a hard salary floor is the way to go.
And that's kind of like obviously the Yankees spend a lot more than like most other teams, but I mean, in my opinion, I feel like as long as the Yankees have Aaron Judge, there's really no true reason, unless Brian Cashman like genuinely wants to win, that Brian Cashman should like empty the wallet. Because as long as Aaron Judge is there, like fans will go. Like I know, like personally, yeah, if Aaron Judge is playing, I want to watch him. He's like one of the greatest like ever. Now, do I believe that he has been putting together like winning teams around him? Yes, but I just think that like you just said, owners make money. Like baseball, especially because baseball is growing. Prices of everything is just getting like higher. I mean, it'd be nice to see like a team like the A's just actually pay their good players that are coming up instead of, like you said, just like once Nick Kurtz, once it's time to pay him, see ya. Once it's time to pay Lawrence Butler, see ya. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
I just don't think players will ever go for a salary cap.
Yeah.
So, I just think that's like out of the question. So I don't know. It'll be interesting. I mean, can we put a cap just on the Dodgers?
That sounds actually amazing.
If we do a hard salary cap, the only teams that it'll really affect, I mean, for the most part, the Dodgers, Mets, Yankees, maybe Phillies.
Maybe the Red Sox. Yeah, it's really just those big teams.
Yeah, I mean, it's really, I don't know. I mean, look at the other teams that are like the big spenders. I know the Phillies are really great, but like they haven't made the World Series. Yankees can't seem to win in the playoffs. You know, we made the World Series, but we got embarrassed. But it was a very very weak American League. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think the cap would do as much for competitiveness. I think it's more for the owners.
That makes sense. So yeah, then I guess really no one would be on the side of the owners then.
Screw them. Eat the rich, baby.
What are your thoughts on our favorite topic of discussion, Mr. Anthony Volpe?
He's probably the player that I'm least excited about. I just don't know how many seasons can go by where we like hold up this player to the highest regard and defend him at all costs. When I'm pulling up his baseball reference page, when he's just not a good hitter, dude.
Yeah.
How many seasons are they gonna say, "Oh, just watch this"? Okay, first season, OPS 666, 666. Second season, 657. Last year, 663.
Like he hasn't
Career
broken
OPS,
662.
662.
That's awful.
That is well below league average. There's multiple things where he's like the worst out of all qualified hitters. Or maybe it was all qualified shortstops. Whatever, I don't care. The point is he's a very bad hitter. And he'll hit you 20 home runs. You know, but when those are like the majority of his hits for the season, do we really care?
I agree 100%. I mean, if this doesn't speak volumes right here. So Anthony Volpe last season, 1.7 WAR, and like you said, a 663 OPS. DJ LeMahieu last season, a 0.6 WAR, right? So almost half of Anthony Volpe's in 128 at-bats, and he had a 674 OPS. How did DJ LeMahieu's – can you remind me, Connor, what happened to DJ LeMahieu last season?
I think he died.
He played so poorly that Hal Steinbrenner took him out back behind the shed and killed him. Okay?
I mean, it was a real, like, of mice and men situation. And it was crazy that they televised the whole thing.
So, I mean, if that doesn't speak volumes to, like – and granted, the only part of that justifies it is the age. But like you said, at what point? Like we're 3 seasons deep now of just really, really bad offensive play. Even some years bad defensive play, like last year. It's such an important position too, with such talented guys to go after at that position too. Like, I don't know, at what point do you just pull a plug? I don't know. I'm
Yeah,
there.
I
I'm
mean,
there.
I like I've been saying, I would try Jazz at short if we're not going to get an actual shortstop.
Mhm.
Let us get a second baseman, Donovan from the Cardinals. Could be our
Yeah.
leadoff hitter. I love that. Marte, as I've said, I would go all in on him.
Mhm.
There's a few really good second base. Even if we sign Bo Bichette to be our leadoff, he played second base in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Although I don't think I think he's going to be with the Blue Jays, but there's a lot of really good second base options.
Mhm.
And Jazz has the arm and the athleticism. Athleticism. He's played short and third before.
Mhm.
Why don't we get one of those guys? Why do we need Volpe at this point? He had 19 errors last year.
Awful.
That's our Gold Glove shortstop. I don't know. I just he's one play. I think what makes it worse is honestly the way that the team treats him.
Yeah. No,
Like he
100%.
doesn't get benched. He doesn't get like. There's never any accountability from like the coaches or anything with him. You know what I
I
mean?
agree 100%. Like, I mean, guys like it's a little bit different, but it's only because of how we treat him. Like you just said, he's had the starting position. Like a guy like Jorbit Vivas comes up because of injury, and like I don't know, I feel like he had a couple sparks. Obviously, didn't play well like continuously, but then bang, sent down immediately, right? Then
Yeah.
Peraza like gets a crack at it, like didn't perform, bang, sent down immediately. Like Peraza was really bad, but like for a guy that's playing shortstop 152 games, uh 663 OPS. It's not the recipe. And also, I just want to say this: like, this is kind of crazy just looking at it. And I always go back to like the 2009 team because obviously we won the World Series. But even just teams of the past, like I'm gonna read out the averages of like the first like 10 batters, and I just want to like talk about what happened to basically average in general, and then just like also the Yankees. So like 272, 331. 212, 235, 255, 242, 274, 219, 208, 257.
That was our lineup last year.
That was like a mix of guys. Yeah, it was from like the end was like McMahon, Stanton, Dominguez, but
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, that's hideous. Who's that guy in the threes?
Yeah, he's pretty good, isn't he?
That
That's
stood
what
out to me.
it's so also this is crazy to think about like how good Aaron Judge is, and we can like talk about it all day long till we're blue in the face. But to bat 331 and hit 53 home runs, like maybe that's why our offensive stats were so good last year. Like if you take Judge out of the lineup, we are a piss poor team. Piss poor.
Yeah,
Like
it was really
horrendous.
what you frozen. Sorry, you froze for a sec. What were you saying? You go. You go.
No, I doubled down. I said horrendous. And then if you take out Trent Grisham's magic year, like oh my god,
Yeah, it was really Grisham, Judge, and Belly for
that was
us
it.
last year.
That was
Ben
it.
Rice and Jazz. You
And
know,
Goldschmidt had like decent seasons.
yeah. I don't. It's just we're a good team. We're competitive, but it just doesn't feel like we're a World Series level. And I think that's where the frustration comes from, and that's where we're kind of speaking from the place of like, obviously compared to a lot of other teams, like our lineup is not terrible,
Mm.
um, but compared to the Dodgers, the Blue Jays, even
Phillies,
the Red Sox. If the Red Sox get like one or two pieces, I mean, we're going to be third place in our division.
and yeah, and it shows last postseason. Like Judge batted 500, and we were horrendous offensively. Like he's it. Like I don't know how you can look at these stats and think like this team can do it again next year, because they can if Judge bats 331 and wins the MVP again. I can guarantee that. But guess what? Judge can go to the Giants and bring them to the playoffs because that's how good he is. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's just rough. I don't know, it's rough. It we're good enough to be competitive and for how to say that we don't need to make any moves essentially.
100%. And
Um but we're not going to win.
nah. But what's crazy too is like I kind of err on the fence. Like I do think Cashman, I feel like he constructs. I think that the types of players it's kind of bad construction, but I do think like we get the right talent. Like like we talked about the trade deadline. Like looking at this lineup, if I didn't see the stats and I just saw the names Cody Bellinger, Aaron Judge, Paul Goldschmidt, Ben Rice, Jazz Chisholm Jr., like I see those names and I'm like, damn, that team could absolutely make a deep playoff run. But then like just the way that they perform, like I don't know what the answer is, but I don't know if it's internal, if it's we need more superstars. Like I don't know. And like we were blessed to make it that far in the playoffs last year. Like I can't imagine being a fan of the Rockies and listening to us complain. But like we're just we're in different situations.
Yeah. I listen, the Yankees always preach we're about winning championships.
Yeah.
Putting us in a position to win championships. I tend to agree with you. I think Cashman does a good job.
Mhm.
Um, Players really underperformed in the playoffs last year.
Yeah, massively.
And like I don't know if it's something with our coaching or like Yankee culture, but there's not a ton of accountability and there's like a lot of sloppy play, a lot of like I don't know, just bad baseball that is played. Um, and I don't know if that's Cashman's fault. Like you
I,
said, like look at the talent that we had. Um, so I'm not ready to to fire Cashman. I do think he needs to maybe um, pull the trigger a little
mhm.
more. Um, at least while we're in this Judge window,
Mhm.
pull the trigger, dude. Make the big splash move. Make two or three of them. Remember when
Mhm.
we got like CC Teixeira and was it Swisher? Was that who were the three that we got that season?
Swisher, I know we traded for because I know for some reason I know Wilson Betamete was part of that trade, but still like
That's
that's a huge like
crazy
still a
trade.
huge move. Like that offseason was unbelievable, and look what happened.
I'm trying to. Who was the other? It was Mark Teixeira.
AJ Burnett,
Oh yes, that's it. Yep.
who was kind of a crazy wild pitcher, but in the playoffs, I believe he put together a couple great performances.
Yeah, he did.
Um,
Um, I think really to get back to the World Series, we're gonna need an off season like that. And I think Amaya Bellinger in a big trade, I think gets us closer. Um, I think Amaya Bellinger in two big trades would be beautiful, but I don't think we're
I,
gonna do that.
and I think that like I think if we were to, I think re-signing Bellinger has to happen, but assuming it does, I think if you were to run out this lineup, right, and the pitching staff, you have to struggle till Garrett Cole and Rodon get back. But I mean, I think Garrett Cole, Max Fried, Carlos Rodon, Cam Schlittler, let's say Luis Hill. I think that rotation can literally get you back in the playoffs on its own. I think that rotation's lethal, assuming Garrett Cole gets back to like true form or even close to it. And then again, I
Yep.
think like Judge with this lineup, like I think they can get back to the playoffs. But like you just said, I don't think it's getting you to a World Series. If everyone performed though, like you said, I think that it actually could, but it's like you're banking on something that we haven't seen before. Like this postseason, like that Savage game was actually the most brutal thing I've ever endured as a sports fan because like one, you knew he throws a nasty splitter, right? You're prepare for that because that's what you're going to see. He comes out, all he does is throw his nasty splitter, and we are swinging and not even like remotely coming close to the ball all game long in such a crucial game. And then like the Dodgers, like you see them play like, a savage and like they're ripping the splitter. Like they put up like 3 runs in the first go. I definitely think that the underperforming is what needs to be addressed most because like it's unbelievable like how I don't know, like Bellinger disappeared in the playoffs. Grisham was a ghost. Everyone except Judge, like there's just no explanation. And the talent's there. It's the performances. I don't really know. But
Yeah. Yeah, I just can't stop thinking like the year that we had Soto and Sane were going off in the playoffs. Like imagine we got last year's Judge then. I think we probably would have won the World Series.
Dude, I think that's very safe to say that if we had last year's Judge the year before, I think we definitely win.
Like I mean, at least it's a battle.
But that's also like, part of it too is just the ball bouncing your way, and like we caused it to ourselves. We have Judge drop that ball in center. We have that garbage play at first with Rizzo and Cole. Like a couple of plays, we still could have won even with Judge underperforming. But like, yeah, man. I mean, I'm gonna be excited for the 2026 season. I'm gonna be happy giddy, regardless of if we make any moves. But I mean, it's just like it's hard, dude. It's being a fan of the Yankees is so easy and so hard at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah. But honestly I feel like this was a good pod to come back.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe get some of the frustrations out.
Absolutely.
And I'm excited to come back a little more excited. Because winter meetings are coming up, right? Some of the like Murakami, I believe was he posted? Amai was posted.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a signing window, so some things will be happening.
Very
And
true.
I'm
Yeah.
hoping that our next pod will be an excited, like energy full,
Yeah.
experience.
I think it should be. We just need to. I think literally a singular move will have us excited. So
Yeah. Oh, can you imagine 2 moves?
that's like a dream. It's so crazy that the Yankees making 2 moves in an offseason where they almost got to the ALCS is like a dream to ask. But
I mean, Amai and Belly, I feel like are must.
and that would honestly have me pretty excited. Like the lineup, but like that would still the fact that we could not sign both of them has me terrified. So if we did sign both of them, it'd be amazing.
We need to sign both, and then we have so many trade pieces. We have to make a big trade,
I
and then
agree.
I think that's all we can really ask for. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Absolutely. Great stuff. Let's go Yankees as always, but yeah.
Let's go Jets, Super Bowl bound, baby.
Let's go Jets. Yeah, about that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And,
All right. We're gonna end on that.
all right. How are the Panthers doing?
Actually very good. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, fuck.
They're in the playoff hunt. They just beat the Rams, who are like 8-3 or 9-3. So
What are the Panthers' record?
we are currently 6-6 or 7-6, maybe.
Is that better than the Jets? I don't.
It's tremendously better than the Jets. I don't remember the last time the Jets.
Is 6-6 better than 3-9? I don't.
You know what's crazy too is I think the Jets almost just won their last game. Was that a game-winning field goal that they lost on?
No, we won last game.
Oh, you beat the Falcons?
Yeah, yes, sir, baby.
Oh, wow, nice.
On a field goal, we won 27-24.
That's right. That's right. You did. You did.
And this is when our winning streak starts, and we're gonna end the season 8-9.
I don't think that'll be enough, man.
No, we're gonna go 8-9, and all the other teams are gonna lose. We're gonna get in.
All right. Well, I'll be. Listen, I'm not a hater. I'll be rooting for the Jets. So
no, we're gonna win just enough so we don't have like top draft picks, and then we're just gonna fuck ourselves.
Yeah, it seems to be the Jets, I think, are in a constant rebuild loop. That's what it seems like.
Yeah, well, we can't develop a quarterback to save our life.
Yeah.
And our offensive line typically sucks. It's actually not bad this year, but
Yeah. No, it's
and
tough.
we have no wide receivers, but it's fine.
Hey, New York sports, baby.
Woo!
Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in. Let's go Yankees and Jets.
Let's go Jets, baby.